Have you ever wondered why some people seem completely unfazed by chaos? Insults just roll off their backs. When plans fall apart, they just adapt. Life throws everything it has at them, and they don't even flinch. It's like they're living just outside the storm. What do they know that the rest of us don't? For most of us, life feels like a constant reaction. A car cuts you off in traffic instant rage. A colleague makes a passive-aggressive comment, your whole mood collapses. A stranger gives you a funny look, and you're filled with self-doubt for hours. Life becomes this endless cycle of stimulus and reaction. Stimulus and reaction. It feels like the world is doing things to you. Other people decide how you feel. Your circumstances dictate whether your day is good or bad. But what if this entire way of living was optional? What if you could reach a state where no person, no comment, and no circumstance could hijack your inner world without your permission? The psychologist Carl Jung pointed out a difficult truth. We aren't tormented by the world itself. We're tormented by what the world touches inside of us. Nothing can truly hurt you unless it connects with a pre-existing wound. If someone's insult makes you furious, it often means a part of you is afraid there might be some truth to it. If being ignored cuts deep, it probably reveals a dependency on external validation for your self-worth. The exact same words, the same situation, can feel like a knife to one person and leave another completely unmoved. The difference isn't the event. The difference is the internal landscape the event encounters. Every irritation, every emotional trigger, every surge of resentment or shame isn't just proof that people are terrible. It's a signal. It's a message saying, hey, here's a part of you that isn't healed yet, that you haven't owned. Most people run from these signals. They distract themselves. They blame others. They change jobs, partners, cities, anything to avoid facing what's being touched inside them. But those who choose self-awareness discover something profound. The outer world isn't an enemy. It's a mirror. Here's the hard reality. The world itself is neutral. It isn't inherently kind or cruel. It's not for you or against you. It just is. What colors your experience of it are your beliefs, your story about yourself, your expectations, your definitions of success and failure, and your unexamined fears. Imagine two people going through the exact same painful breakup. One collapses, thinking, my life is over. The other uses it as a turning point, a lesson, a reset, and fuel for growth. Same facts, different interpretation, radically different life. As Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This leads to a paradox. The more desperately you try to control the external world, the more power you actually give it. The moment you need someone's respect, that person gains power over your emotional state. The moment you must have a specific outcome, that situation now controls you. The moment you demand that life be fair, you sentence yourself to constant disappointment, because reality doesn't care about our private rules of fairness. True control is only possible in one place: your perception and your response. The person who understands this stops trying to control the storm and starts mastering how to stand within it. When you finally let go of the obsession with controlling everything out there, something incredible happens. The need for constant approval starts to fade. The fear of failure loses its grip. That exhausting fight to force reality to match your script finally ends. The strongest people aren't the ones who micromanage every detail. They are the ones who have mastered self-control in the middle of uncertainty. They stay calm in difficult conversations. They don't shatter from criticism. They move forward even when the path is unclear. They discovered that control over the outer world is an illusion, but control over your perception is real power. And as soon as you stop clinging to outcomes, you'll start to see a pattern. The less you chase validation, the more confidently you move, and the more respect you naturally earn. The less you obsess over success, the more opportunities show up unexpectedly. This isn't magic. It's the result of one simple shift. You stop living as a bundle of automatic reactions and start living as the author of your own inner state. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Imagine you're walking down the street, lost in thought. A stranger suddenly throws an insult at you. Idiot. You'll never make it. In a split second, your body is on fire. Your heart races. Your jaw tightens. You replay the words over and over, crafting imaginary comebacks in your mind. Hours later, you're still thinking about it. Now, imagine a different reaction. No rush of heat, no internal argument, just a calm, clear thought. This is not about me. And you keep walking. This isn't numbness. It is a trained mind that no longer lets random noise decide its state. So, how do you get there? Most of us live from a fragile construction that depends on others' opinions, visible success, and predictable outcomes. This false self is built from compliments and criticism, social media approval, childhood messages, and cultural expectations. That's why attacks feel like threats to our very existence, not just words. A rude comment doesn't just sting, it feels like proof that you're not enough. A failed project isn't just a disappointment. It feels like you are a failure. Psychologist Carl Jung called the hidden part of our psyche the shadow. All the fears, insecurities, and unhealed wounds we deny or repress. When someone hits a nerve, they aren't creating new pain. They're just touching what is already there. If you were internally at peace with that topic, the same words would be like shouting at a mountain. The echo might return, but the mountain doesn't move. The true source of our emotional pain is rarely the external event itself. It's the story our mind attaches to it. Someone doesn't text back, and your mind says, "I'm not important." People always leave me. You receive criticism at work, and you think, "I'm incompetent. I'll never be good enough." The event is simple. The inner commentary turns it into a personal catastrophe. Neuroscience shows that these emotional responses become habits. The brain builds pathways based on repetition. The more you respond with anger, the easier anger becomes. The more you collapse into self-pity, the faster that pattern activates next time. But the good news is, the brain is plastic. It can be retrained, but only if you stop treating every trigger as an external attack and start seeing it as data about your inner world. Every emotional spike carries a question. What exactly did this touch in me? What am I afraid might be true? This is the start of what Jung called shadow work. Instead of thinking, "You hurt me, you're wrong," shift to, "What part of me reacted so strongly and why?" If an insult about your intelligence hurts, maybe you secretly doubt your competence. If being ignored hurts more than it should, maybe your value is still tied to others' attention. The goal isn't to suppress emotions. It's to see them clearly enough that they no longer own you. This leads to true emotional detachment. It isn't being cold or pretending not to care. It's a shift in identity. You stop identifying as the anger, the fear, or the shame. You start identifying as the one who sees them. Think of your awareness as the sky and your emotions as a storm. The storm happens, but above it, the sky is always undisturbed. Detachment is remembering, I am the sky, not the storm. You can feel deeply without collapsing. You can stay present in conflict without exploding. You can experience loss without losing yourself. Training this untouchable mind is systematic. In any triggering moment, first, notice the spark, the tight chest, the racing thoughts. Second, pause, even for just 2 seconds. You're creating a gap between the trigger and your reaction. Third, name what you feel. This is anger. This is fear. Finally, ask, what story did I instantly tell myself? This is how you move from being a prisoner of your reactions to a researcher of them. Over time, your brain learns to pause instead of explode, to observe instead of fuse with emotion, to respond instead of react. Life doesn't get easier. You become stronger. You are no longer easy to provoke or destabilize. In our next video, we'll take this even further from being a reactive piece on the chessboard to becoming the player, and then the observer. That's where real sovereignty begins. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for the next step in this journey. Imagine life is a chessboard. Most of us live like pawns, constantly reacting to other people's moves. We attack, we defend, we retreat, completely lost in the game. Someone insults you, you lash out. Someone praises you, you desperately chase more. They ignore you, and you start spiraling into self-doubt. You're inside every single moment with no distance, no real perspective. But then there's the player. The player sees the whole board, the patterns, the long game. And beyond that, there's the observer, who can step back from the entire game and just watch how it all unfolds. True emotional freedom is about making that journey from pawn to player to observer. So why do we give away so much of our power? It's because we tie our identity to things outside of our control. We think our self-worth comes from what people think of us. So one critical comment can completely ruin our day. We think our self-worth is tied to our achievements. So one setback can shatter our confidence. We become like a leaf in the wind, tossed around by every external event. The way out isn't to become arrogant or indifferent. It's to build a sense of self that doesn't collapse every time the wind changes direction. The first step is moving from pawn to player. And this requires one crucial skill: moment-to-moment awareness. In any situation, there's a critical moment. Someone provokes you, a plan goes wrong. You feel that wave of emotion rising inside you. Right there, you have a choice. You can go unconscious and automatically react, attack, defend, collapse. Or you can stay conscious, observe the reaction, and choose your response. Let's say someone talks down to you. The pawn inside you screams, "How dare you? Who do you think you are?" This leads to a fight, escalation, and drama. But the player inside you thinks, "Okay, I notice a surge of anger. I see my need to prove myself. I can address this calmly, or I can just walk away. I don't need to lose my peace over this." The situation is the same, but your inner position is radically different. The more you practice choosing awareness over automatic reaction, the more your brain rewires itself to make this your new normal. But there's another level beyond the player, the observer. The observer is that part of you that notices your thoughts without becoming them. It feels your emotions without drowning in them. It sees the game of life without thinking. It defines your entire being. This isn't some abstract concept. You've already experienced it in small moments, like when you catch yourself overthinking and ask, "Why am I reacting like this?" Or when you feel anger and you just know this feeling will pass. That quiet, clear awareness, that's the observer. You strengthen it by regularly pausing before you respond, by reflecting on your triggers instead of just justifying them. Spend a few minutes a day in silence, just watching your mind. Gradually, you stop being inside every emotion. You start to see, anger is happening in me. Fear is happening in me. But I am the one who is seeing it. Once you know that deeply, emotions still come, but they no longer own you. When you stop reacting automatically, the world around you actually changes. People who used to manipulate you with drama lose their power because they can T-hook you anymore. You stop chasing approval, and paradoxically, more people start to respect you and seek out your opinion. You become less reactive and more selective about where you put your energy. This is what real inner strength looks like. This isn't something you achieve overnight. It's built through daily practice. Day after day, you catch yourself at the first spark of a reaction. You pause. You refuse to let every external event define your worth. Over time, insults lose their power. Failure becomes feedback, not a final judgment. And uncertainty becomes an open possibility, not a source of terror. You don't become a robot. You become sovereign. The world doesn't stop being chaotic, but you stop being at its mercy. You can choose to stay a pawn, or you can become the player and eventually the observer. That is the essence of an untouchable mind. Thanks for watching. If you're still here, still watching my videos, I just want to say something simple. Thank you. In this world of endless noise and constant distractions, the fact that you choose to spend your time here with me means more than you can possibly imagine. It means you're one of those rare people who wants to go deeper, who wants to question things, and who looks for answers inside yourself, not just on the surface. I am honestly so happy that there are people like you who share these interests, these questions, and this search for meaning. So, if you feel like this space resonates with you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share this video with someone you know who might need it. Your support helps this content reach more people who are also quietly searching. Thank you for being here, really.